Can my employer fire me after a deployment? This is a question that we hear a lot from service members, and generally it comes with quite a bit of anxiety behind it. You've served in the military, you've served your country, now you come home, and you're worried about something that you really shouldn't be, which is whether your job is actually secure. Let's talk about what the law says, what employers can and can't do, and where things can get more complicated than people expect. So what is USERRA? There's a federal law called USERRA, the Uniform Services Employment and Reemployment Rights Act. It's a mouthful. The basic idea behind USERRA is simple. If you leave a civilian job to serve in the military, you're supposed to be able to come back to your job when your service ends, as if you had never left. Now, that includes not just getting your job back, but being protected from retaliation or punishment because of or relating to your service in the military. The short answer to the question is this: no, your employer cannot generally fire you just because you were deployed on active duty. But of course, as with most things, that's not the end of the story, because as always, the details actually do matter. What protections actually exist? USERRA gives returning service members several important protections. First, you have the right to reemployment if you meet certain conditions, such as giving notice before your deployment and returning to work within the required or expected time frame. Second, you're protected from discrimination. This means that your employer can't treat you worse because of your military service. And third and finally, there are protections against termination for a period of time after you return, depending upon how long you were deployed. For example, if your service was longer than 180 days, your employer generally can't fire you without cause for about a year after you return. Now, where employers often get it wrong, and where a lot of problems arise, is here. Some employers simply don't understand USERRA. Others, well, they understand it, but they try to work around it. So instead of saying something like, "We're firing you because you were deployed," they're smarter than that. And they say things like, "Well, you've had performance issues. Now we're restructuring. You've got attendance problems. Maybe this isn't a cultural fit." On paper, these may sound legitimate, but the timing and the context matter quite a bit. If adverse action happens shortly after you return from deployment, this raises serious questions. Now remember, USERRA is not an absolute immunity. It does not mean that you can never be fired, and that's important to understand. If an employer can show legitimate, non-discriminatory reasons for the termination, and those reasons are supported by evidence, the termination may be lawful. What the law prohibits is firing someone because of their military service, or using that military service as a pretext to cover up their discrimination. Here's some common red flags that service members should pay attention to. I always tell service members you should watch out for these types of things. Sudden performance issues that were never raised before deployment, major red flag. Discipline or criticism that starts immediately after the return. We see it all the time. Being excluded from meetings or job responsibilities. Comments about your availability or your commitment to the company. Changes that you feel punitive. None of these automatically mean that the law was violated, but taken together they can matter quite a bit. So what do you do if this is happening to you? If you're in this situation, there are a few things that you should consider doing right away. Number one, document everything. Save your emails, texts, performance reviews, any written communications. Number two, pay attention to the timing. When did these issues supposedly arise? What changed after you returned? And don't assume that you're overreacting. A quick conversation with a lawyer who understands USERRA can help you understand whether what's happening is legal or not. So who are these cases for? Well, USERRA cases are very fact-specific. These are not minor workplace disagreements. These are about real consequences to someone's livelihood after serving their country in the military. Not every case is the same, and not every situation is a legal case, but when an employer crosses the line, the law is very clear about protecting our service members. If you're asking yourself, can my employer fire me after a military deployment? The answer is that the law generally gives you strong protections, but these protections depend very highly on the facts. If you find yourself dealing with this right now, getting informed early can make a significant difference. Even if you're just trying to understand your rights, knowing where the lines can help you protect yourself are important. If this topic is relevant to you or someone you know, this is exactly why USERRA exists. We want to make sure that service doesn't cost someone their civilian career. Feel free to reach out to us with any questions.